Hey guys, I'm here with Michael Flutie, and we're going to be talking about last night's episode of Scouted, where we saw Lindsay and Amber, and unfortunately, neither of the girls got signed at the end.
They didn't. They just didn't really have what it takes. And it was a really interesting episode because there was a lot of conflict, I think, with both the girls, especially with Amber. I mean, Amber, her mom, her dad, they come to New York. She has a horse named Armani. She says that she loves fashion, but then when you talk to her about fashion, she really doesn't know a lot about fashion.
Yeah. Well, I also think she came off a little bit immature, and the boyfriend definitely held her back.
This is an industry about moving to New York, traveling all over the world, and the last thing that you want is to have somebody that, especially a model, has so many restrictions.
One thing I found really interesting was when Amber got so emotional. I mean, I get it, you're in a new place, it's probably overwhelming, but obviously you have many years experience, Michael. You just want the best for her. And, maybe you were coaxing her a little bit to try something new, but that's honestly what the world of modeling is.
You want to see how much she's willing to cross the boundaries, and that's what this is all about. So if a conversation is going to have a girl burst into tears, then that's a huge red flag for all of us. And the fact that she told her mom that I was pushing her, I'm like, if you think that was pushing you, wait until you get into the real world of modeling.
I definitely think it's a good example of it comes down to anything. If you want something badly enough, you'll put the work into it. And that brings us to Lindsay, where another girl with just too much baggage.
The decision for Lindsay was, you're too young. I think you need to go home, really kind of mature and get to understand yourself, and come back when you really have an opportunity. Because you could see through the transformation.
Yeah, definitely.
She really, from the photographs, she really blossomed, right?
Yeah,
she's a beautiful girl.
She has it. She definitely has it. I just don't think it's her time. And you even saw that with her restrictions. Obviously, your background and what's important to you, it's what makes you, and that's kind of what made her so great in the same respect. But then even when Danny was trying to fit her in clothing, and the simplest little sheer panel, if it grazed her belly button, it was like the end of the world. So.
Right, but at the same time, I think, we really respect and honor, the code of ethics that every single girl has. And we actually talk about it, obviously, in the show.
And that's another thing. I kind of loved that about her, too. I loved how strong she was and who she knew who she was. And that's important because it's definitely a field where you can probably lose yourself and wind up down a wrong path. I'm sure you've seen it sometimes.
We see it all the time, and I think that is one of the reasons why I actually really like the fact that she came prepared. It's like one of those things that actually gave her a huge advantage, is that she came prepared. Her parents really supported her. She took the time out to go speak to her preacher, and the code of ethics that she came with was not anything that was really challenging for us to work with. But I think the process of her evolution in New York proved to us that we should take a beat. Part of our responsibility is to kind of hold them back, because New York is a very, very competitive city. You have to travel all over the world again, and we want to make sure that they're really prepared.
I just think she was just too young, and that's a perfect example. Like, you could see it right there. She was trying on the clothes. She really wanted to go for it, but when you're a certain age and you're not ready, you're not ready, and that's okay too.
And she also was not the type of girl that Scott really likes. Scott has a very specific taste.
As we're coming to learn.
And you see it throughout the show. Like, often the decisions that we make as a group and we recommend to Scott are not really Scott's choices. But that doesn't mean that our expert opinion is incorrect, because there are going to be girls that Scott doesn't sign that end up in other agencies. And that's a really big part of the show.
Well, I want to know what you guys think at home. Were you surprised that neither of them got signed? Tweet at Michael Flutie and let him know if you agree with the decision. And tune in Monday nights, 10 p.m. on E! To catch Scouted. And the very next day, we'll have Michael Flutie here recapping the show with us. Till next time, for all your news, gossip, style, beauty, and more, keep coming back to HollywoodLife.com.